Good day. Here are the stories for the Manila Times for Sunday, August 22, 2021. President Rodrigo Duterte firmly stood by his embattled Health Secretary Francisco Duque III amid mounting support for the equally embattled Commission on Audit or KUWTT, which on Saturday got a boost from the private sector. In a pre-recorded message aired early Saturday over state-run PTV4, Duterte lashed out anew at KUWTT for its recent audit report on the Department of Health, which uncovered some 67.3 billion worth of deficiencies in the management of the coronavirus disease 2019 or COVID-19 response funds. Duterte, however, came to Duque's defense, who he said was not even a campaigner and was nowhere to be seen during the elections. Duterte said he would be doing a great injustice if he fired Duque because he would only sack an official for corruption or dereliction of duty, claiming that the health chief did nothing wrong. He said that if Duque, whom he hired, had committed mistakes, he would take responsibility and that as a matter of principle, even if he was the only one left, he would stand for Duque even if it will bring me down. The president said he does not care whether or not it will bring his ratings down, since his presidency was nearing its end. Duterte has repeatedly defended Duque despite calls for him to resign over numerous controversies, including the alleged irregularities involving the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation. Draconian measures such as intense lockdowns, rigorous contact tracing, testing, isolation, and increased public health measures will have to be enforced for the Philippines to control the spread of the coronavirus disease 2019 or COVID-19. An infectious disease specialist and author told the Manila Times in an exclusive interview. Dr. William Hasseltine, currently the chairman of Access Health International and who has worked on the development of treatments for HIV or AIDS and cancer, said the Philippines has the chance to become the next New Zealand, which set up stringent border control and ruthless lockdowns. Hasseltine said the measures imposed in China and New Zealand, which he called short-term draconian measures, will ensure long-term success in controlling the pandemic despite issues in the efficacy of their vaccines. Senator Manny Pacquiao may have taken some beating in the political arena, but on Sunday at the T-Mobile Arena, the Filipino boxing icon is expected to deliver a show for the ages, display his unwavering fighting skills, and reclaim the World Boxing Association or WBA welterweight super title from Yordenis Ugas of Cuba. After all, this is Las Vegas, Nevada, his home turf in boxing, his comfort zone for winning. Pacquiao is 42 years old, 7 years older than Ugas. Ugas was only 12 when Pacquiao captured his first professional boxing title in 1998, when he beat Chachai Sakul of Thailand for the World Boxing Council or WBC flyweight crown. Pacquiao last fought in July 2019, winning by unanimous decision over American Keith Thurman for the WBA crown. That crown was taken away from him in January 2021 because of inactivity and was given to Ugas. On Sunday, Pacquiao and Ugas will collide to settle the score once and for all. The Philippine Genome Center, PGC, said on Saturday that there is now a community transmission of the highly infectious Delta variant of COVID-19 in the country. PGC Executive Director Dr. Cynthia Saloma said in a radio interview that they were looking at the cases and there are many cases that are unlinked. Saloma was pertaining to the phylogenetic tree, a diagram of infections based on the samples the PGC sequenced in the past few months. She added that the community transmission of the Delta variant is the reason behind the surge of COVID-19 cases in the country, which logged its highest single-day tally of infections at 17,231 on Friday. Saloma said community transmission of the Delta variant started in July when the PGC discovered that 48% of the samples it sequenced were of the Delta variety, comparatively higher than June when only 5% of the samples sequenced turned out to be of the Delta strain. Though concrete evidence is needed, Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergire said from the start that Department of Health's actions were based on the assumption that there already was a community transmission of the Delta strain. Vergire said the government is implementing measures to contain the spread of the Delta variant. President Rodrigo Duterte on Saturday has given the Department of Health or DOH and the Department of Budget and Management or DBM 10 days to release a special risk allowance or SRA of healthcare workers battling the COVID-19 pandemic. Duterte issued a directive amid complaints from medical professional groups on the non-release of the SRA. He also charged the DBM to facilitate the quick release of funds for the medical workers SRA. The president even offered his office contingency fund to ensure the speedy release of the health workers SRA. President Duterte on Saturday announced that he has fired the administrator of the National Electrification Administration or NEA for his alleged involvement in corrupt practices. In a recorded address that was broadcast on Saturday, Duterte said he ordered the dismissal from service of Edgardo Masongsong following the recommendation of the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission or PACC. In business, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas or BSP secured 100 billion pesos in its weekly securities auction thanks to the strong market demand. The one-month bill was oversubscribed by 1.54 times the offered volume of 100 billion pesos, according to BSP Deputy Governor Francisco Daquila Jr., resulting in a total of 153.98 billion pesos in bids. He went on to note that the average interest rate on the 28-day bill continues to fall from last week's level, moderating by 1.771 basis points to 1.7309%. Accepted yields went lower and narrowed more to 1.7150 to 1.7380%. In sports, the Philippine Basketball Association or PBA has approved teams to go to Pampanga starting on Monday to hold practice sessions before the Philippine Cup resumes. In a text message to the Manila Times, NLEX Road Warriors General Manager and Head Coach Yang Giao said he assumes that the local government unit has approved their rollout to Pampanga. Giao and the Road Warriors are going to stay at the Supia Resort in Clark Freeport, Angeles City. According to Giao, the Road Warriors will hold their scrimmages at the Beverly Golf and Country Club in Mexico, Pampanga, the same site where the squad held its training camp during the off-season. The Magnolia Hotshots and the Meralco Bolts will be staying at the Quest Hotel, the same hotel which accommodated the PBA delegation in the bubble tournament last year. Marlen Ronquillo is today's front-page columnist. He discusses about grifting in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. Today's editorial calls on the country's economic managers to boost public spending for the country's economic recovery. Read a full version on the paper's opinion section or listen to the Voice of the Times. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram to keep up with the Times. For the Manila Times, this is Paulo Ilapi.